The film begins in Oklahoma, where a group of college students who love chasing storms are gathered for a tornado watch. Led by Kate Carter, the group includes her friends Javi, Praveen, Addie, and her boyfriend Jeb. Their mission is to release barrels of sodium polyacrylate right in the heart of a tornado to cool it down and make it collapse. They are using their Dorothy V. Doppler to assist them in this daring plan. The team excitedly drives toward the storm, with Javi tracking the tornado's path while the others head straight into it. As they get closer, the strong winds knock over their barrels, but they quickly set them back upright and keep going. They speed away as the tornado approaches, successfully releasing their sodium solution and sending a series of drones inside. However, instead of collapsing, the tornado intensifies to an EF5. The four of them abandon their truck and run toward an overpass. Praveen is the first one to get pulled into the tornado's path. While trying to climb up with Kate and Jeb, Addie is struck by flying debris. Jeb tries to shield Kate while she holds onto a bar, but he is also swept away into the storm. Kate suffers a deep cut on her leg and is later found disoriented and in shock by authorities after the storm passes. 5 years later, Kate lives in New York and works at a NOAA office. She is surprised when Javi shows up at her workplace with a proposal. He is now with a company called StormPar, which is testing a new system to detect tornadoes in Oklahoma, aiming to prevent further damage to areas affected by storms. Still struggling with the loss of her loved ones, Kate initially declines Javi's offer to work with the team for a week. However, after Javi sends her an article about a neighborhood in Oklahoma that was severely impacted, Kate changes her mind. Kate joins Javi at a StormPar base in Oklahoma, where she meets teammate Scott, who is closely working with their boss Marshall Riggs, and British reporter Ben. They are joined by Tyler Owens, a celebrity storm chaser who calls himself a tornado wrangler, along with his team from Arkansas, Boone, Danny, Lily, and Dexter. After putting on a show for his fans, Tyler approaches Kate, but she quickly dismisses him as just a show-off. The team set off to chase a tornado that has touched down on a nearby farm. Kate and Javi drive together, leading their team, while Tyler and his crew zoom in with their truck, racing toward the tornado. The StormPar crew begins to set up their scanners, but Kate has a panic attack while trying to set up the last one, causing them to miss the tornado's path. Later, Kate and Javi watch as Tyler's crew drives into the path of a second tornado. They use drills on their truck to anchor themselves to the ground so they won't be blown away, and then they launch fireworks into the tornado. Afterward, they return to their motel, where Tyler's crew is also staying. The next day, Javi introduces Kate to Riggs before they head out to track the next tornadoes. Lily launches a drone plane to help find their target as everyone prepares to leave. They soon find themselves driving toward two tornadoes at the same time. Kate notices certain wind patterns and tells the StormPar team to drive in the opposite direction of Tyler's crew. While Tyler and his team think they're about to catch one of the tornadoes, it suddenly dissipates before reaching them. Meanwhile, Kate and Javi get their scanners set up, but the tornado starts moving toward them, damaging one of the scanners and forcing them to quickly flee, just barely avoiding being swept away. The teams arrive in a nearby town that has been severely damaged. While they work to help the locals, Kate finds out that Tyler and his crew use the profits from their merchandise to provide free food for the community. She also learns from Tyler that Riggs is taking advantage of the local suffering by buying the damaged land and then reselling it to them after they have already lost so much. Later that night, Tyler invites Kate to the local rodeo. During the show, they notice strong winds picking up, and soon everyone gets an alert about a tornado warning. The sirens start blaring and people begin to evacuate, causing some to be trampled by horses in the chaos. Kate and Tyler work to help others find safety. They find a mother and her child along with a motel clerk and try to lead them to an empty pool. Meanwhile, a rude couple attempts to drive away but gets sucked into the tornado's vortex. The clerk tragically loses his life after he tries to walk toward Tyler instead of crawling, as he had been instructed. The others hold on to the pool ladder until the tornado finally passes. In the aftermath, Kate sees Scott going to survey the damage just to gather numbers for Riggs. She gets into an argument with Javi about what they are truly working for. Javi snaps and blames Kate for the deaths of Praveen, Addie, and Jeb, which makes her drive away from the scene in distress. Kate then drives to her mother Kathy's farm in Sapulpa. While there, she watches an old video recorded by Jeb and revisits a school science project she did years ago. Tyler arrives after following Kate and is invited by Kathy to stay for dinner and to sleep over. He finds her notes on her tornado experiment, but Kate breaks down, feeling guilty about watching her friends die due to a poor decision. The next morning, before Tyler leaves, Kate catches up to him and discusses his idea for getting a new model up and running. Using Tyler's truck, Kate and Tyler apply the sodium solution in an attempt to collapse a new tornado, but it doesn't work as they hoped. Later, Javi arrives to apologize to Kate and shares scanning data with her. They reunite with their teams and begin tracking another tornado. The teams follow a new tornado moving toward El Reno. As they continue their journey to track the storm, Javi and Scott's car, moving faster than the others, gets struck by the storm and completely flips over. Then a rare event occurs. The storm hits a power plant, causing a massive fire and explosion. Miraculously, a piece of debris from the blast strikes Javi's car, flipping it back onto its four wheels. They immediately escape from the unstoppable storm. The teams rush toward the town to help evacuate people. Javi wants to follow, but Scott insists he stay behind for the sake of their job. Javi cleverly tricks Scott into getting out when he asks to pull over, and then he drives away, splattering Scott with mud and declaring that he quits working for Riggs. Lily, Ben, Tyler, and Kate are all trying to warn the people there about the storm that is about to hit. Amid the chaos, they attempt to guide everyone in the area toward a movie theater building to evacuate the area and seek shelter there. At that moment, a streetcar is being swept along by the storm and comes rushing toward Tyler in the blink of an eye. Although Tyler manages to escape just in time, unfortunately, part of his body, especially his legs, gets trapped under a heavy piece of wood that the streetcar has brought along. When Kate realizes the situation, she tries to get Tyler out of the predicament so they can escape quickly. At that moment, due to the storm, a water tanker nearby is on the verge of collapsing. Just at that critical moment, Javi, who ditched Scott and prevent working for Riggs, arrives just in time. With Kate's assistance, they manage to save Tyler before the tanker crashes down. Once they arrive at the movie theater building, they realize that it is entirely unsuitable for facing the impending severe storm, especially since the building lacks a basement to shelter people. As the storm begins to tear the roof off the movie theater building, Kate, in a moment of critical danger, makes a brave decision. In this dire situation, she gets into Tyler's car and resolves to take another risk by releasing the buckets containing sodium polyacrylate as close to the storm as possible, while the storm tears the roof off the theater and pulls some people into the air. Kate struggles with the controls for a moment, but eventually manages to secure the truck to the ground and launch the solution. Although Lily is almost sucked away, the solution starts to work, and the tornado begins to dissipate. The team quickly heads to Kate's location to rescue her. Later, Javi takes Kate to the airport to return to New York, promising they will continue working together. Tyler arrives to say goodbye, and Kate repeats his slogan to him, "If you feel it, chase it." Applying this to his feelings for her, Tyler digs his truck into the ground, ignoring an airport employee who tells him to move. He catches up to Kate just as they notice storm clouds approaching and hear the PA system announce flight delays. They both grin and head back to the truck together. The credits reveal that Kate and Javi have teamed up with Tyler and his crew for more adventures ahead.